Get your tickets now for the 23rd annual edition of the OUTshine LGBTQ Plus Film Festival happening April 23rd to May 2nd. Don't miss our incredible grand opening drive-in event followed by 10 days of non-stop films from here and all around the world that you can watch at home. Watch trailers and get your tickets at OUTshineFilm.com now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 23rd annual Miami edition of the OUTshine LGBTQ Plus Film Festival. We're presented by Miami-Dade County and Gilead, and I'd also like to thank our members who support the festival, and especially our producer circle members. It's with your support year after year that we're able to come back year after year. And I want to thank you all for joining us for this virtual Q&A for Isaac. And now let's bring into the room co-writers and co-directors Angeles Hernandez and David. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear.
Oh, okay, sorry. I think my internet connection today has not been the best, so I apologize. So yes, we have co-directors here, Angeles Hernandez and David Matamoros. Welcome today to the Q&A.
Thank you.
So first, let me just say I really enjoyed your film. It was also just very different from a lot of the LGBT films that I've seen a lot this year, in the end, a very, I think, positive way. So first, I do know that the film was based on a play. So why don't you tell me like how I guess you discovered the play, and then what about the play? Why you then wanted to turn it into a film in that process?
Yes, the play belongs to a writer from Madrid, Antonio Hernandez, and he invited us to the play, and we were kind of like, wow. The reason why we like it so much was because I guess that we found parts of ourselves in the four characters. So it was very difficult for me to say, okay, I just go with this character, or I just go with the other character. The four of them were inside of us. So I thought that was a very interesting idea, and we decided to build from there.
Oh, excellent. And then from when you started to build from there, like what was the actual process like in terms of like, once you got the go ahead that you can write the screenplay, like how long did it actually take you to go from writing the screenplay to actually getting everything filmed?
Oh, that's a funny story. Because we're mainly producers, and we suggested to several filmmakers to do it. But for different reasons, we finally said, okay, we like the story, let's do that. But the play is the play, and our story is our story. And we decided if we need to direct this, it has to have some honesty in it, and the only way that we could do that is just steal from the things that we know. So we went back to our friends and our relatives. So most of the stories that you see on the screen are actually true. It's things that we lived every day. So we sat down with the author. We discussed the process of how we wanted to approach everything. And then we started writing, and we said, okay, well, so we know this person, so we should write this. That thing happened to the other, we should write that thing. And so it was kind of building up from what we know. Angeles and I have been friends for over 12 years, so we know each other pretty well. And most of our friends, we have a lot of friends in common. So and I know that you don't think that we are over 40, but we are over 40, and no, we're not. But the kind of troubles and the kind of issues that we encounter now are so different. Like the role of what is it to be a man? What does it represent to be a man? What is motherhood? Do you really need to have children to fulfill your life? Do you want to have children? So we explore from there to this. We build this thing that was, a point of view that it was very feminist, and it was looking for a new kind of masculinity, I could say.
Yeah, and that definitely comes across. One of the, I think, things that I really enjoyed about the film was how everything was so maturely handled, I guess. Like when, the characters were going through some big personal developments in their lives, and also just like learning about themselves, and in some cases coming to realizations that, it's not good things. And yet everything, all the conversations, when there was this great tension, was, to me, like handled very maturely. And then people were able to like kind of like look at themselves in the mirror and make a choice. And then and each of them made the choice to move forward in their different ways, and they were all difficult choices. For example, Dennis, the character, with his girlfriend saying, "Look, I'll be there for you for this whole experience," but then they have the argument where like, "No, I'm not," and then he kind of had the discussion with Nacho about like who he is as a person and what that means, and all the ramifications. But but all that was just handled so well. Like it was like actually seeing like real adults not lose it, but actually come to a decision, come to realizations, and then kind of moving forward with their lives in a very hopefully positive way. And I just want to just share that with you guys. I mean, that was like one of my main realizations and takeaway, with like how mature everybody handled everything and how their life changed. And I guess there's no question there. That's just a big compliment, to the film itself. And let's actually go with the cast. Your cast was just really good. All the characters in it. Like, did you have people in mind already, or was it the basic casting process? Was it a mixture? How did you find the actors that played the roles?
Oh,
no, lo digo en castellano.
Well, the thing, guys, is she's very shy in English.
No, es que hablo muy mal inglés.
She says she's very bad in English.
Yeah, si quiere habla en español y yo puedo, translate para usted. No hay problema con eso.
Bueno, sobre el tema del casting, ¿no? Nosotros, sobre todo, somos productores, y a lo mejor nuestro proceso de casting siempre es que no nos gusta hacer casting a los actores. Trabajamos por intuición. Entonces, teníamos como 4 personajes 4 roles muy diferentes, y realmente lo que hicimos es nos reunimos con cada actor, tuvimos una reunión con cada uno de ellos varias horas, y era la manera de saber si creíamos que podía hacer el personaje. Entonces, todo muy de instinto.
So just Angeles basically said, and you can correct me where I'm wrong, I guess, David, they're producers. You don't actually like the casting process. It's like a kind of like a harsh process for the actors. I believe, if I understood correctly, you kind of had people in mind for the roles, and you actually met with them for like a few hours at a time for them to discover the character, and you to discover them to see what the fit is. So it was a very collaborative process to move forward, and it was not like a standard casting call, but you did have someone in mind. And then I would guess that the people that you originally had in mind were the ones that were finally cast.
And the thing is that we didn't want the name of the actor to take over the honesty in the character. So we've been with this script for over 2 years. And when we go to theater plays and we meet people here and people there, and when you're somewhere and you're like, he reminds me of that, or he reminds me of that. So we play with that a lot. So we take a lot from the nature state of the person, rather than just going from a that was not the case for us to go through a regular casting process.
Well, and it worked out well for you. Like, to me, and I'm forgetting her name, but the Nacho's wife.
Yes.
She was incredible. She was expressive, but everything, like in action, that photo, like a lot comes through in her eyes, and the same thing with all the characters, Dennis, like everyone they're great, movie actors. Like they project well with very little on the screen, and it was powerful. Out of curiosity, because kind of going back to the writing of the script, you had mentioned that you took from what your life, your friends' lives, and you put it in. Like, I mean, the basic bones of the story that you have here, or the basic bones from the play, is what you did as the basis, and then you added to it. Like, I mean, the play is still pretty much kind of like the story of the play is the same as the movie. You just added to it.
Yes. Yeah. This is a. The thing is that I think our lives were never represented in movies. So when you see yourself portray some there, it's like, that's not me. So we just try to work on that. What was real to us. So my gay life has nothing to do with most of the things that I see on screen. Her straight and as a woman life has nothing to do with some of the things that we see on film. So we try to build from there. So, okay, what do I see every day? So I see a lot of friends of mine who are going crazy because they want to be parents. She sees a lot of her friends going crazy because they don't feel complete because they're not mothers. We see some of our friends who are very criticized because they just follow their dreams, and their dreams have something to do with something different than the person they love at that moment. And we have friends, they don't want to come out of the closet. And so all those things, we just try to build from there, from things that we can touch and experience, and talks that we have with them, secrets that we need to keep inside of us. And something, when you turn a certain age, you can't bullshit yourself, man. You just can't bullshit yourself. So you just have to go for the second half of the match, and that's what our characters do. The characters just like, okay, what happened in this past 40 years? Is this the life that we wanted? Are we the same people before? Are we following somebody else's wishes instead of us? For example, in the character of Martha, the role that Maria plays here, she's like, am I playing what my mother wants me to be? So she's like, I don't have this maternity feeling. I just don't want to be a woman. I just want to do nothing, and that's what she chooses. So this is exactly what we find every day, and that's what the movie were close to our hearts, because those characters portrayed in the movie are people that we know from our daily basis.
And then, with that, the scenes of the Dennis and Nacho, back in high school, are those also like things that just, that come from you and your friend's life, like that, the whole experiences that they had, also like the one friend that kind of protected Nacho and Isaac and all that, or like, it was, like, I really enjoyed the flashback scenes, because you it's something you lose as you grow up, like, like just a regular, just like basic friendship with like other guys, for lack of a better term, where you can just like hang out and and just run around, and you really express that. It really comes across in the flashback scenes, and then also just like what Dennis meant to Nacho and Isaac to an extent definitely came across. Is that were those scenes also drawn from like you and your friends' past experience?
Oh, well, yes, you might. I mean, I've been bullied half of my life just for the reason that I was gay, and I had some of my friends who committed suicide because they couldn't deal with it. Men and women, both of them. And probably in your case it was the same. Tú también has tenido amigos que en la infancia han sufrido algún tipo de acoso.
Bueno, es que como comentábamos antes, realmente el guión está basado en experiencias nuestras y de nuestros amigos, y realmente, o sea, toda la historia, todos los flashbacks, ahí sí que somos David y yo completamente. Entonces sí que yo, por ejemplo, en mi caso también tuve un amigo en el instituto que se suicidó. Y era como de repente toda la gente, ¿no? Un poco como pasa en la película, toda la gente que se reía, todos los niños que se reían de él, de repente todos llorando. Y dices, pero bueno, entre todos lo hemos tirado, ¿no? De ese terrado y son cosas que realmente se te quedan dentro, ¿no? Y sí que creo que como en el caso de Nacho es súper importante el poder sacarlo para poder crecer como persona.
The Angeles basically said, yeah, all the flashback scenes did come from experience, and basically, she did know someone back in high school that that was a person that was bullied and all that, and in fact did commit suicide, and everyone that was kind of bullying this person all of a sudden was crying, and everyone was kind of responsible for the situation that basically kind of happened. And kind of switching to Nacho, the character, it was important for him to basically show growth as a person moving on in the story.
It was also important for us not to have a woman on the flashbacks, basically because all the violence that goes in the flashbacks comes from a very masculine way of seeing what life is.
So, definitely, and that's something definitely caught my attention because these are three friends, and the people that were picking on the weaker two friends were bigger guys, which is for lack of a better term, standard operating procedure in high school and middle school and the whole thing. Kind of going to the technical look of your film. Your film looks great. I just want to compliment your location scout, and your set designer, and your director of photography. All of you.
Scouting. No, we did scouting.
Es una película artesanal.
Yeah.
Well, you did an excellent job just finding great locations, and also just the people's apartments or the houses they live in, and it's they were great sets, and then whoever did the art direction, whether the set the apartments already look like that or not, was great, and just the look of the film. It was just a well-made film. Can you just go into the process with the team that you had working with you to just create the look of the film?
Yes, I think that we should mention here our DOP, our director of photography, Gina Ferrer, who is an amazing photographer. She's great, and Ángel is going to tell you more about her.
Bueno, la verdad es que el equipo técnico es el equipo técnico con el que solemos trabajar en todas las películas, ¿no? Gina era la primera vez que trabajamos con ella, fue un descubrimiento. La verdad es que nos entendió muy bien el look que le queríamos dar a la película, que era queríamos hacer algo muy sobrio, pero muy íntimo a la vez. Y luego, por ejemplo, la montadora, Elena Ruiz, que, monta también todas las películas que hemos hecho. Entonces, en el fondo, al final los rodajes, lo ideal es crear pequeñas familias, ¿no? Para que se puedan hacer películas pequeñas, pueden ser grandes.
Yeah, so the compliments to the director of photography. I think you've worked with her in the past, I think your first film, and you work together well as a team. And also the same thing. What's a montador? Is that the set designer?
Editor.
Oh, the editor. Oh, sorry, I misheard. Yeah, and you work with the editor too, and you like creating these little teams that are families, so that everyone kind of understands each other, and then you can do with very little people make something look much bigger and more impressive than what the actual cost of it or the size of the scope of the actual production will lead it to believe. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's one thing that we do that's quite funny. We play with colors and music. So every time that we work with the team, we said, okay, Nacho and Marta, they're green and blue, and this is the kind of music they will be listening to. And then if we go to the other two characters, Dennis and Carmen, they're red and they're yellow, and these are the kind of these are the kind of music they would listen to. So something is rock and the other one is classical music. So I think that helps a lot to the team to develop the atmosphere. So you see the houses are very developed in terms of color and music.
Yeah, and then now that you say that, it's like one of those things that you, once you hear it and you see it, now you're always going to see it. It's like one of those like little audio and visual cues that you guys use to kind of create the atmosphere for each of the characters, and you did it well, because every time that Nacho was there and his environment was always, it was a very cold aesthetic, very sterile aesthetic, and then Dennis's apartment was more like lived in, a little bit messier, a little bit more creative, I guess. For not necessarily creative, but it was just like it was warmer in feeling. And I guess more passion, I guess, is in the place. And actually, I'm kind of curious. At the end of the film, it ends. At the end, credits are playing, and then and character Dennis is doing his creation while the end credits roll. I just might have missed something. Is that his restaurant, or is that his restaurant, or is he still like executive chef for somebody else? Like I think I missed something in all that, but like I was just kind of curious. Was that in fact his own restaurant? Did he finally get his dream realized there?
Yeah, this is his restaurant, and he finally gets what he wants. He wants to have his own place where he can develop. And if you pay attention to the dish he's making, he's creating his new cuisine based on what he has lived. So if you pay attention to the food, it's the 4 characters in the food.
Oh, okay. You know what? Now I'm gonna have to watch it again and pay attention and focus in on it. It was just I not that to give. I really like, kind of going back to it. I really like how everyone had these mature. I don't call them adult, because adults can have immature conversations. Had these mature conversations and move forward with their lives in really a great way and in an unexpected way. I definitely can say your film to me was not predictable at all, or like how it was going to end up or what was going to go on with it, and how powerful certain scenes were. What are you working on next as a team?
Oh, well, this is the thing. We haven't found a movie yet to do together. We're both developing different stories, because we know what we would like to continue, telling stories. Angeles is working. She's going to be shooting probably by the end of the year an amazing story called The Lighthouse. It's more of in the genre spectra, thriller and ghost, and that I think you're going to be thrilled with that. And probably 2022, that will be my turn. And my film is called Astronaut, and again, it's a father-daughter relationship and how they overcome the death of the mother. I'm a funny guy. I don't know. Let me do it again, because that sounded like a huge drama, but no, it's gonna have a lot of humor in it, because I'm a funny guy. Just in case you didn't notice yet. Yeah.
No, not a problem. No, well, Angeles and David, thank you for taking the time today to do the Q&A, and thank you especially for making a really, really good film and letting us show it here at OUTshine, and again, taking the time from your day to be part of this Q&A.
Victor, the day they let us in the United States again, we will go and visit you in Miami.
No, and we would love to have you here. Yeah, that's one of the I guess the benefits of the virtual thing. We've had more Q&As than ever before because it's all virtually, but you do lose the actual in-person experience and experience in new places, or just getting to meet up with people. So yeah, definitely when things hopefully get back to normal by the end of this year, or definitely by 2022. Yeah, I would love to go back to Barcelona. It's been a long, long time, and then and you guys can come down to Miami.
All right, and thanks everybody for watching the movie. I hope that you liked it, or you like it if you haven't seen it yet. And we're so proud to be in OUTshine. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then for everybody, we're going to end with now showing the trailer of Isaac.
Thank you.
Me ha pedido dinero prestado.
Nunca me habías hablado de él.
Le perdí la pista.
El coleguita del pueblo y su señora esposa.
Es la oportunidad de nuestra vida.
De la tuya. Me controlo y como me juzguen voy a ir a la yugular.
Bueno, no te preocupes porque ellos son muy educados. Yo creo que es una solución ideal para nuestros planes.
Vámonos unos días de aquí.
A ti nunca pudimos llevarte a la contraria, ¿no?
Lo que pasa es que tú no quieres decir que no. En realidad nada cambia.